coffee bed. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of World News. Sorry to keep the stream going while I was away. I just had to quickly get a coffee before I forget about it. So we're what we're gonna do is today we're gonna talk about Russia attacking Ukraine, not Ukraine, attacking Poland with 20 drones. 20, is it 20 or 25? I can't remember. Please leave a comment down below of what how many drones attacked Poland. I can't remember for the life of me. But yeah, let's get right into it. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about Russia sending their troops to Poland to invade Poland. They attacked Poland with drones. And I wanted to show you a video of a cathedral that stood the how that building behind him stood bombardments and raids and bombs and everything, and still it stands today. while everything else burned. While everything else burned, the cathedral stood and did not have one scratch on it. So we're gonna watch this video. I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to hear what he says too.
With explosives, crossed into NATO skies.
Poland and NATO scrambling fighter jets to shoot down those Russian drones. Poland, of course, a member of NATO.
Stood. It was battered, it was scarred, but unbroken. A symbol of defiance. And this morning, 80 years later, 20 Russian drones loaded with explosives crossed into NATO skies.
Poland and NATO scrambling fighter jets to shoot down those Russian drones. Poland, of course, a member of NATO, all nations defending each other.
It's the closest we've come to direct war with Russia since the Second World War.
At dawn, Soviet tanks move up on the suburb of Praga in their great September advance on Warsaw.
And as I look at St. Paul's, I can't shake the feeling that we've seen this before. But then it was Hitler, it was Mussolini, it was Hirohito. And today it's Putin, it's Xi, and Kim Jong-un.
Standing on Tiananmen Gate, President Xi Jinping said his great nation now feared no one.
Three dictators smiling together in Beijing. Cameras flashing, jets streaming overhead. Missiles on parade. And it looks exactly like the 1940s. Except this time, there may be no allies to stand in their way. This is the Axis reborn. And while they march, and while they arm, and while they prepare for a decades-long confrontation, what do? We meet, we debate, we hesitate.
The European Union has again extended a ban on Ukrainian grain imports to...
President Karol Nawrocki decided on Monday to veto the amendment for aid.
As opposition to more Ukraine funding grows louder among some House Republicans.
Words without action and promises without consequences. History is screaming right at us. In 1939, Poland was carved up, once by Hitler, once by Stalin. Britain and France had pledged to defend it, but their promises came too late. Poland was crushed. Millions condemned to occupation, to camps and to gulags. That was appeasement. And appeasement does not stop dictators. It did not then, and it will not now. And yet, here we are again. Russia levels Ukrainian cities. Iran sends their drones, and North Korea sends its troops. China builds the largest navy on planet Earth. And the West defends whether defending ourselves is too escalatory. This is Chamberlain all over again, a permanent Munich.
Hitler's retreat at Berchtesgaden became the scene of conferences between Britain's Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain and the Führer. Hitler now claimed additional territory.
The Second World War did not turn because of appeasement. It turned because of Stalingrad, where the Nazi advance was broken in the snow. And it turned above all on June 6th, 1944. D-Day, where Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy. That day, young men waded through surf and gunfire because leaders had finally found the courage to act.
To wage war against a monstrous tyranny never surpassed in the dark and lamentable catalogue of human crime. That is our policy. Let us go forward together with our united strength.
And from that moment on, the Axis was doomed, not by words, not by speeches, but by action, by unity, and by sacrifice. That is what defeated the Axis. And now we stand at another crossroads. Ukraine is where the line is either held or it's broken. And if Ukraine holds, the new Axis is stopped. And if that line falls, Putin will not stop. Xi will not stop. Kim will not stop. And one day, the fire that consumed this skyline in 1940 could return. Look at St. Paul's behind me. Imagine it burning again. This is not the sprint to war. This is the slow motion beginning of World War III. And here is the terrifying difference. In the 1940s, there was an Axis, but there were also allies. Allies who fought back. Allies who stormed those beaches at D-Day. Allies who together defeated tyranny. And today there's an Axis again, but there are no allies. Not yet. Only hesitation and only excuses. This story is not finished, and it's still ours to write. It's still changeable, it's still fixable, but only if we choose to act. Because if we wait, if we look away, if we keep debating while dictators march, then this time there will be an Axis and no allies. History is watching, and it will not forgive appeasement twice.
So, what he says is true. We have no allies in this country, in this world. We have an Axis that wants to take over the world. 3 dictators, and if they make Mark Carney become one of the become part of the Axis, then it'll be 4 dictators. So what he was talking about is, if we argue back and forth about bullshit, we're never going to be able to have allies. We won't be able to fight against the enemy. If Ukraine holds, they'll stop the Axis invasion, the Axis push into NATO. If Ukraine falls, all of NATO is going to fall. And if NATO falls, the world falls. So I want you guys to understand it pretty well and pretty clear, because World War III is already here. But on the Allies' side, there is no allies. We have no allies. Everyone's dictating to each other what to do. They're arguing back and forth on what to do. So if we keep arguing back and forth, the enemy just keeps pushing in. So we don't know what to do. And private militaries out there, they'll see this and they'll start building up their forces. They'll start getting more and more resources, more and more men, more and more firepower, more vehicles, more air, more tanks, more freaking artillery. Because they'll be the ones fighting against the Axis. So, if you guys understand, World War II was Axis and Allies fighting each other. That cathedral that guy showed stood against the Axis. It defied the laws of gravity. It defied the bombers. It defied falling. And if NATO today doesn't get off their high horse and say, we need to make allies with the rest of the world, we need allies. We need allies now. The fight against Russia, the fight against China, the fight against North Korea. But if they say nothing about that, and they're bickering back and forth, fighting, dictating what to do, and Russia got right onto the doorstep and took all of fucking NATO, then came after the United States and started invading the United States, there wouldn't be anyone to stop them. Because NATO would have fell. NATO would have fell hard. Because Russia can take one country, then they can take another country right after that, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, until everyone is in Russian countries, or Chinese countries, or North Korean countries. So I want to make this message to all the presidents of these countries, including Putin and Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping. Stop the fighting. Stop the wars. Stop building up your military. Put all your navy back to your country. Get rid of the land bases you made. And stop fighting Ukraine. Build up your armies all the way to max. And let NATO do the same. NATO builds up their armies to the max. London builds up their armies to the max. The United States does the same thing. Canada does the same thing. Then everybody fights on the equal ground. They'll be good. Because with the fact that, let's just say, Russia has already attacked the Ukraine. And they already bombed Ukraine. They already took out the infrastructure and everything with it. But the world, as you know it, doesn't have the firepower to stop an enemy from telling them you can go fuck yourself, because they will have that dominance and that strength and that power to say, we're going to invade you. We're going to take over your country. We're going to take your entire economy and wipe it the fuck out. That's why I want to talk to you guys and tell you, hey, we need to tell the world, we need to stop the wars. We need to stop wars. We need to stop with violence. We need to stop with the tyranny. We need to make peace with everybody, because we don't. The world as you know it is going to fall, and fall hard. And if it falls hard, who is going to pick up the pieces? Not North Korea, not Iran, not China. Who's going to pick up the pieces? The civilians. The civilians will be picking up the pieces. And they will tell you straight out, we need to end the war. We need to stop the fighting. We need to make the world peace again. And we need to make the world a better place. Because if we don't make the world a better place, then we're no better than North Korea, Iran, Saudi Arabia, And we're no better than the worlds that are out there fighting, trying to survive, trying to make peace with themselves before they die. And with that, we need to figure out if North Korea should fight. We need to figure out why we need to have North Korea fighting. Because if North Korea fights today, they will have peace among the world. And they will have the hope of every other country. So I want to tell you guys that you allies out there like Britain, all the NATO, United States government, you guys need to come together and admit to the civilians that you are wrong. And that we need to stand up and fight against tyranny. We need to stand up and fight against dictators out there. Because as of tomorrow, there is going to be a rally. All Canadians are going to rally against the Canadian government. And we're all going to stand up and fight against the government of Canada. And Britain is going to stand up and fight against their own government. And the police and everyone else that they have ever tried. Because there's a song out there. I'm not going to play the song because it's copyright. But it's called Britain Unite. And if you guys listen to that song, it tells you guys that there is the innocent again locked up. The innocent again locked up, and the predators are still able to roam around, preying on the innocents and raping the innocent people, breaking into their homes, killing thousands of people, and they're not getting arrested for that. The cops are looking the other way while the criminal goes up to them and stabs them in the back. Because that's what cops do. They turn the other cheek and they look away while the guy's robbing a house right next to him. They don't see the house, but the people in this house are screaming at the cop. The cop's not even seeing it. They're talking to each other while the guy's robbing the house and bang bang shooting both of the people. And the cop's looking over here talking to the guy about donuts and how the soccer game is going to happen. Well, a criminal is inside the person's house, raping their daughter, killing two of their parents, and the person they raped, they killed them as well. So, I want you guys to understand this. Canada is sick and tired of this because our government has said to us, don't do anything about the criminals. Let us handle it. If someone breaks into your home, call the cops. The cops ain't going to do shit. The cops never do shit in this town. And if the cops don't do shit, who's going to fight against the criminals? We are. Because if you don't stand up before the people are going to stand up for themselves. And we're going to fight against the government. We're going to kill the government. We're going to murder the living fuck out of the government. And I want you guys to understand, people in Canada, we all love the civilians. We all love each other, but we hate our government. We hate Mark Carney because he's a dictator. We hate the government because they're trying to steal everything we love, including fossil fuel. They're trying to get rid of that. They're trying to get rid of gas-powered vehicles. They don't want you to have any of that shit because they're trying to make the entire country go electric-powered vehicles. But the country is not going to do that. The country will never buy an electric-powered vehicle and get rid of a gas station that they want to go fill up gas for their vehicle and spend money on. Because when you want to buy an electric-powered vehicle, sorry, but not going to happen. Gas stations will not close down because you want to make the country electric and ban all gas-powered vehicles. Hold on. I don't know why I keep yawning. I'm awake. I think it's a coffee. But people of Canada need to understand, we as Canadians, we don't want electric-powered vehicles because during the wintertime, you're not going to get far in that vehicle. And because say Canada had electric powered vehicles, they don't have the ability to go far in the wintertime. Say you want to take a trip, say, I don't know, Dawson Creek. You drive from, say, Fort St. John, an electric powered vehicle to Dawson, you're going to get this far. That's it. You're going to hit, say, Taylor, and then it's going to die. And then you're going to be stranded in Taylor, waiting for someone to come by and boost your vehicle, and then their vehicle is going to die. Why have an electric-powered vehicle when you can't even go far in an electric-powered vehicle? Because wintertime hits, those batteries ain't going to last long in winter. Wintertime hits, the batteries are going to fry themselves. They're going to freeze. They're not going to last long in the winter. Because when say you're driving an electric-powered vehicle and the winter hits and you want to keep driving it, you start driving towards the gas station. You're like, cool, I'll charge it up. You go to charge it and dead. 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 You won't be able to charge it. You have to sit there in the winter the whole fucking time waiting for somebody to come drive by, see you trying to charge your vehicle. They pull in, their vehicle dies. Because the world does not have the ability to think as an American. Americans, on the other hand, they're smart. They're really smart. Say your house is out of power. Take your electric powered vehicle and boot up your entire house with that one car. They're smart. Us Canadians, we're brain dead up here. We don't know what to do. During the wintertime, I see it every single time. Black ice hits, cars hit the power line and knock out the power. Every single winter. Every single winter. And with the electric powered vehicles, and so the world you know is pretty much say an American went to Russia and their vehicle dies. What would happen if, say, you drove an electric powered vehicle from Germany all the way into Moscow? You wouldn't be able to get that far because the gas powered vehicles get you far. Electric powered vehicles get you like 20 kilometers before it dies. Because that's what Mark Carney wants to do for Canada. He wants to get rid of gas powered vehicles and gas altogether. He wants to get rid of all the gas stations and make the world have electric powered vehicles so that we have to charge our vehicles every single day. We have to use our vehicles every single day. We have to buy electric powered vehicles every day. If you want me to do that, make them self-driving so I don't have to drive at all. Make them self-driving so I can get into a vehicle not having to worry about driving and tell the car where to go. So I want you guys to understand is if the United States doesn't intervene until tell Putin to end this war right now, or you're going to die by us Americans. Don't attack any more countries, or you will be nuked by the United States. That's what I want people to do. I want them to stop the fighting and make peace with everybody in the world. Stop telling other countries what to do and worry about your own goddamn country. Like Trump, if you're watching this, don't worry about Canada and what they're fucking doing. Let them die. Let them deal with their own bullshit. Worry about your own country. Worry about your own country's drug problems. You have drugs all over the United States that you don't know about. You have the cartel smuggling drugs in with guns, cars, other people. You have them putting them in the packages and sending them in like gifts. You have them flying in by planes. Don't worry about Canada. Let Canada deal with their own goddamn country, their own goddamn government. Let their own country rally against their own government and destroy them. We need to fight our own battles. Just like the United States needs to fight their own battles against their own government. But they're too afraid to do it because they don't want the U.S. government getting on their ass and sending the U.S. military after their ass. The Canadian government, on the other hand, only has 1,000 troops. And that's it. Because Trudeau, when he was our prime minister, didn't keep building up the army. He took the money from the army and used it for himself. And then got caught when he was talking to Katy Perry inside our own restaurants. Trudeau was talking to Katy Perry, and they were looking like they were on a date. Yes, Orlando Bloom, your own goddamn wife was talking to an ex-prime minister that Canada hated. So, why the hell do the American government are more focused on Canada than they are on their own country? Don't be focused on what Canada is doing. If Canada wants to break down and die, just let them. We can rise up and fight against our own government, take back our country. We can do that. Don't help Canada. Let Canada deal with their own problems. You, Trump, should deal with your own country. Your own country that has crime, drugs, murders, death, people buying guns without a license, and people that have no choice but to buy a gun to defend themselves against your fat ass. Yes, this video probably will be demonetized. I don't care. Because the truth hurts. The truth has to hurt for you American people out there. Not my girlfriend. My girlfriend's fine. She's all good. But everybody else in the United States needs to wake the fuck up and tell Trump, do not stop Canada. Don't stop Canada from being tariff. Take the tariffs away from Canada. Give us what we want. Take countries, but you want to take them. You want to take Ottawa? Manitoba, Alberta, and BC, take them. Get us out of Canada so we don't have to be a part of Canada. We want to be a part of the United States, but Mark Carney will not allow it. Mark Carney is trying to hold us back as hostage, as leverage, because he wants Trump to give him more money, more power, more everything. And I sound like a broken record to you guys, but you guys need to understand that Trump is the biggest dictator and the smartest dictator that you ever can have. Yes, Mark Carney is a dictator, but Mark Carney is also stupid. Because Mark Carney doesn't realize is their own country is going to rally against him tomorrow. And they're going to tell you guys, stop with the immigration. Stop sending immigrants to jobs that we want. Us Canadians can't get a job because the immigrants taking our jobs from us. Us Canadians, we want jobs. The immigrants are taking the jobs. And I don't understand why the Canadian people, us Canadians, we're so terrified of the government that we're not going to say anything to piss them off. But when we rally against them, they spew the biggest bullshit of them all. Because they're saying, we're going to take your country. We're going to fight your country. We're going to make the biggest bullshit excuse that you guys want to have. So that's why Alberta wants to leave. That's why Ontario wants to leave. That's why Montreal wants to leave. And we, British Columbians, want to leave. Because we're sick and tired of the Canadian government spewing their bullshit and lying to us and saying, oh, you're going to get what you want. But we don't get what we want. People today don't want to fight for their country. They don't even want to work. They just want to stand on the side of the road and protest because they get paid to protest. So, say that this air pump is the Canadian government. This little nozzle is all the Canadian people. You push it in, the government spews their bullshit. You push it all the way out till where the nozzle is right here. And then this little nozzle is the one that goes bullshit. And when the government spews their bullshit, they do it on national television, they do it on YouTube, they even send you alerts on your phone saying, oh, vote for this guy this year. They'll help you. I don't vote for any of those assholes anymore. There's no point. Because when the country as you know it, say you wanted to move to Canada. You wanted to be a part of Canada because you think, oh, it's so sunshine and rainbows up here. No, it's not. We have more problems with Canadian government than we do with our own people. The Canadian government is trying to get rid of Americans from their country. They're trying to push the Americans out. They're trying to bring more immigrants in and take all the jobs in Canada and have all the immigrants taking those jobs. That's why I don't have a job, because the jobs I went to apply for in Canada will not hire me. They haven't called and said, we'd like to set up an interview for you. They have never done that. I'm stuck, jobless. I don't have a job. I never had a job. After I left the bottle job because of certain unseen circumstances, I don't want to say it, but I'm more happier. I'm more at peace than I ever have been when I worked in a private building that spewed more bullshit than ever. It was like the government was there spewing their little, like, the toxic fumes all over the building, saying, oh, fight over each other, do this, do that, destroy the country. And when I worked at the bottle job, I was terrified of the day that a nuke would have fell and I wouldn't be able to be at home, armed up, cameled up, and getting the fuck out fast. But now I have a girl that I'm dating, that is coming up here now, actually. Should be here this Sunday. And you guys will see her and everything. I'll making a video of paintball for you guys. But I will have her take the video of the paintballing, because I want her to show you guys that it's not so hard to get away from a country that wants to spew their bullshit. And this that the Canadian government wanted to fight you guys, and then wanted to make you guys scared and depressed, and you guys will have to fight, and you won't be able to kill, because you try to hit somebody with a bomb or say a grenade or the biggest nuclear capable missile, you're not going to be able to fight, because if you fight, the country as you know it would have fell 10 times over, because we want to be able to fight our own people, let alone take our own country. Because what if the country, as you know it, say the country wanted to take over your country. Say the country wanted to fight you. What the fuck would you do? Would you stand up and fight, or would you lay down and die? Say that you wanted to take over the biggest crime lord and you didn't have a weapon to fight. Because without the Canadian government, the world will not stand a chance to be at peace with the world. We won't be able to fight, let alone even have a chance to fight. Because without the Canadian government, we're not going to be able to stand up and fight. And yes, I'm spewing my bullshit again and again and again, to the point no one's going to fucking listen except a couple of you guys. But if you guys say that you want to go to the Canadian government and you're like, hey, what the fuck, and they don't do anything about it, why live in Canada? Why live in this country when you cannot stand and fight for your own life, let alone your own goddamn country? This country is so happy when we work together. But lately, we haven't worked together. Lately, we've been fighting, death, hate. And I want you guys to understand that the world needs to lay off the hate. We need to stop fighting. We need to stop wars. We need to be at peace with ourselves, peace with our heart. As it says in the Bible, love thy neighbors as you love yourself, and forgive thy neighbors for their wrong transgressions. But you guys don't see that. You guys see false idols. Idols telling you what to do. Idols saying fight. Idols going and saying blow up a country, kill millions of people, take a country, go after another country, do this, do that, do this, do that. It's like saying I'm gonna throw this basketball and try to dunk, and have another country slap that ball out of midair and say, no, you're not. Because the world, it's changed. Remember when we had COVID? How the whole Canadian government locked down the country and wanted us not to have COVID in our country, but it still came in our country because the idiocy and the stupidity of a Canadian person flew to China and then flew back into our country and gave us COVID because of it. It spread from the one place it landed all through Canada. like wildfire. And speaking of wildfire, in the Yukon Territory right now, there is a wildfire that is burning right now, and the Canadian government will not try to stop that. It just says, just let it burn. What if that wildfire came all the way to Canada's town, Fort St. John, and burned the entire town down? The Canadian government wouldn't care. The Canadian government wouldn't give a shit about this town at all. Because they don't want this town getting built back up. They wouldn't even care if this town burned to the ground. Because without this town, there wouldn't be no government buildings, no nothing. But if you guys like these videos, please comment down below what other videos you want me to talk about, or what videos you guys want me to make, and I'll do it. Because in a couple of years from now, I'm gonna take me and my girl. We're gonna take a trip to the United States, and I want to make a video of how the United States is dealing with their government compared to what Canada is dealing with their government. And then I want to take a trip to China and film how the Chinese people are dealing with their government, and how to the Canadian government and Americans dealing with their government. We're not going to North Korea, because if we do, we're never coming back. We would be arrested and detained, because we're talking to the people, and we're not going to be allowed to talk to the people. So we're not going to make a video there. But we're going to go to Iran, and we're going to ask the Iranian people how they're dealing with their government compared to China, Russia. We're not going to Russia either, because Russia will detain you like that and arrest you just like that. So, unless if I get an invitation from Putin himself saying, I would like to be on one of your YouTube videos, I would like to talk to your viewers, I wouldn't let Putin talk to you guys. I would tell Putin that if he wants to talk to you guys, you have to tell the truth of what's really going on in the world. And I'm going to stop talking for right now, because I'm getting really, really tired from doing this kind of videos right now. And if my girlfriend's watching this video right now, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Get some rest on that plane while flying to Canada. And have a good time flying. And I will see you when you get here on the 14th. But thank you for watching, everyone. And we just hit 1 minute mark and cool. But thank you for watching. And God bless you all.